proud supporters of Curling NB. Hoop Lasso. Visit www.hooplasso.ca to learn about our mineralizer and to find a retailer near you. BrokerLink Insurance. BrokerLink has a group rate for members of Curling NB. Visit www.brokerlink.ca to get your quote today. The Brannen Icebreaker. The Jake Thomas Celebrity Curling Classic. The Government of New Brunswick. The Curling NB Hall of Fame. Visit www.facebook.com/CNBHOF for all information regarding the Curling NB Hall of Fame and this year's nominations. Egg Farmers Rocks and Rings Program. Visit www.rocksandrings.com to bring the Rocks and Rings program to your school's gymnasium or community function. Sport New Brunswick. Visit www.sportnb.com to learn more. Coaching Association of Canada. Visit www.coach.ca to learn more. And Curling Canada. Visit www.curling.ca to view all future upcoming events.
Uplazo's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal. Uplazo is 100% natural and offers you trees, herbs, and houseplants, a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplazo enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of grandma, use Uplazo all-purpose mineralizer. Le minéralisant tout usage Uplazo est la solution idéale pour tous vos végétaux. Uplazo est naturel à 100% et offre à vos légumes, fleurs, arbres, fines herbes et plantes d'intérieur un mélange de plus de 57 minéraux, alors que les fertilisants de grandes marques en offrent 3 au plus. Uplazo fait le bonheur de tout ce qui pousse. Obtenez des fruits et légumes plus goûteux, plus gros et plus colorés et éloignez les insectes de façon naturelle. Pour un jardin digne de celui de grand-maman, utilisez le minéralisant tout usage Uplazo.
Welcome to the 2025 Brannen New Brunswick Mixed Championship. I'm Sandy Comeau, and beside me I have Terry Odeshaw.
Hello, Sandy.
How are you, Terry?
Excellent, thanks.
Nice to see you here in the curling club.
Yeah, it's been a few days.
Yeah, so we have a great day going today. It's the final of the New Brunswick Mixed Championship, and we have facing each other for the final semi-final, because if Comeau is able to capture this game, this is considering the final. But we have Team Comeau against Team King. And on Team Comeau we have Renee, of course, Renee Comeau, Jennifer Armstrong, Alex Robichaud, and Kate Vanderborough from the Capital Winter Cup. And then we have Brian King, Sarah Gaines, Alex Peasley, and Sierra.
And a good start to this game right off the bat. Rocks are in play, center guard's up.
And Brian King's team is from the Gage. So yes, Terry, we've got a great start. There's already, this is the 4th rock in play, and center guard is where they want to start playing from, right?
Yeah, Renee elected to go around the center guard. It's 50-50 strategy, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can either put up a corner guard yourself, or you can go around that center guard. They went a little deep, so it's a little open right now.
They'll probably play the first hand open. They like to get their feet wet, you know, if you want to call it. The nerves are probably a little there for everyone. It's a chance to go to a national potential final, and they'll be very excited out there. But they want to play, you know, pretty clean in the first hand and make sure that they get, you know, what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Underway.
That was a really good shot there.
That came around and it's almost totally buried.
They'll want to roll to at least a corner guard here if they don't get the double.
I'm thinking they were just trying to peel that off, making sure that they don't leave anything that's in front of the Yellowstone that's in the house.
I was talking with them earlier. They said the ice has been holding up really good this whole week, actually.
There's been some great curling, like you don't see, there's no flaws in the ice. It seems like it's very fast. The rocks are curling in nicely. Sweeping is effective because of the nice curl on the sweep on the ice. They can sweep it right to where they want it to get.
Yes, very manageable.
Yes,
And weight sensitive,
it is.
so they got to watch their weights when they're throwing little chaser rocks out there.
One of the things that we noticed over the course of the weekend in the first end, they threw more weight for hits. I don't know if it's to get their, you know, just to get their delivery, you know, able to feel like the comfort or not. But I noticed that as the ends got longer, you know, later in the ends, they were throwing more controlled weights on their shots, being a little bit more precise in their weight structure. What they wanted to throw for shots to be able to stay around or roll behind or.
Right, and that's a perfect example. They threw a lighter weight there. You know, he didn't make the shot, but he's got two corner guards now.
Exactly. Over the games on the weekend, we've seen a lot of Rossin play. So it'll be interesting to see if we see a lot of Rossin play with these two teams.
Yeah, and that's typical mix too, isn't it?
Yes. Fun that way, isn't it?
It's the best way to play it.
Mm-hmm. Lots of opportunity for fun shots for the skip, eh, Terry?
There's definitely a lot of opportunity for fun shots. The years that I played, oh, that was a long time ago. That was in the mid 2000s.
Wow.
Yeah.
And your brother's still playing.
He's the king of mixed, Sandy.
He's the king of mixed.
For sure.
Grant Odershaw, king of mixed. That's true.
Ooh, that one's not going to be enough. Advantage Team King. That was the part of weight sensitive that I was just talking about. You get it up a little bit too high and it runs straight on you.
That's right. And where the ice is so sensitive, it does make a big difference. And sometimes the sweeper just can't get it in there. On the directional sweeping, it's still, you still need to be able to throw the right weight to have that happen.
This one here, even if she comes up short, as long as she's in front, is going to cause some chaos. It looks like it's crashing, though. I wonder if that didn't pick.
We have had a few picks over the weekend. It's been, generally it's been great. I haven't seen a whole lot, but there has been some. That just looks like it might have.
She did kick out a little slow.
Oh, yeah. It might have been one of those things where you're trying to throw a guard so sensitively that you end up not putting enough weight on at the end of your delivery. Especially if you come out slow, like, you know, for a guard.
Oh, it's really curling nice with that in-turn.
That looks like a good recovery shot by Jennifer.
Oh, right on the nose, too. Brian will try to chase that. I think the way that last one curled, he's got a good chance of hitting it on the nose again. That guard's far enough up there.
And would you throw a little less weight and try and get a little bit more of a roll if you can?
Well, he's
afford
got to make sure it goes out. So you can't pull back too much on the weight. Even if he rolls to the side, it's still going to be a difficult shot for Rene to
Yeah.
chase.
The opportunity to roll to the left of the house and you end up behind another guard is just as important as not crashing on the guard.
Right. And if he forces him to the out turn, then he's got staggered guards up there and a difficult shot.
Correct.
I think we're good here, though.
And he got a little roll, just what the doctor ordered.
Now we're going to see that. Oh, we're not going to see the in turn. I think it's a little straighter on the out turn side.
Yeah. That rock is fully buried. They've just seen two rocks go down with weight that gets the rock completely out. So he should be able to get in around the center guard. That center guard is very long, which is why you are able to get around that center guard. You often like to have your center guards a little tighter than that when you're Brian King's team, because otherwise, just like they're trying to do, they can get this rock out because of the distance between the guard and the rock in the house.
And with Rene having hammer, he's only got to get it out of the 4 foot. I think that's what they're discussing now. Just make sure you get it out of the 4 foot.
Where they want to leave the yellow rock, they'd like to eliminate it, but because it's so tight to the line of trying to get around the center guard, they're not sure they can throw enough weight to get it completely out. They just want to make sure they end up shot rock. Correct?
Yeah, they're going to be trying to carve this one. He had a bit of an outward motion on that. Another good-looking shot.
That's a great shot by Alex.
And out of the 4 foot.
By
He would have wanted to
Alex.
keep a little more
Rene.
angle.
Great sweeping by Alex.
Yeah, they held that perfect.
Perfectly. We got some high fist pumps going already. There's some excitement going on after the first end.
And a lot of smiles.
Yeah.
Just like you would expect in the mixed.
It's such a fun event, and it's, after having your Scotties and your Briar tournaments and cash meals all year, this is the best event to finish off your curling season with.
Absolutely.
So much fun, so much camaraderie. There's, you get to meet some of the other players because of it. Because you play in the women's, you don't necessarily see a lot of the men's teams, vice versa. So it's really fun to see the connection with all the New Brunswick players.
A little hot on this one. They got to carve it over there. Oh, they got it carved. Oh, no, they carved it too much.
Missed it.
Wow, where did that come from?
Not sure if they waited too long. It looked like it had perfect weight.
Well, they were carving it over it like they were wide.
Yeah, and maybe because, directional sweeping does give a good challenge on the person in the house trying to determine whether or not to stop or go, or when to say, carve it in or not. So they must have just started it a little too early. Unfortunate, but fortunate for Comeau. You have a chance to start off with a score of 2.
Dream start in any game.
It is. It just builds your confidence so quickly when you are the first to score. Sometimes it's hard to keep leads. That's the focus that any team has to keep going on when they first score, whether it be a 2 or a 3 or a 4, like anything like that. But looks like a perfect 2. for Team Comeau.
Well done. Well done first end by Team Comeau. It was the exception of the little rub by Brian. That was a well-played end by their team too.
Uplaso's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplaso is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplaso enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of Grandma, use Uplaso all-purpose mineralizer. Le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso est la solution idéale pour tous vos végétaux. Uplaso est naturel à 100% et offre à vos légumes, fleurs, arbres, fines herbes et plantes d'intérieur un mélange de plus de 57 minéraux, alors que les fertilisants de grandes marques en offrent 3 au plus. Uplaso fait le bonheur de tout ce qui pousse. Obtenez des fruits et légumes plus goûteux, plus gros et plus colorés et éloignez les insectes de façon naturelle. Pour un jardin digne de celui de grand-maman, utilisez le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso.
And we're back. Looks like a clean end started.
Yeah, Renee put the first rock in the 4-foot. Little surprised Brian didn't chuck up a corner guard. This would be a time clock saver end.
That's another thing that we talked about. We have 30 ends to play, 30 minutes to play 8 ends of curling with 1 timeout. So the first 4 ends, it's really important to kind of keep your pace up and make sure that you keep some time for the back end of your game, just for the strategy side, because it does eat up your time quite quickly if you start talking about specific shots.
And he's elected to put the corner guard up now that that rock's over on the side of the 4-foot.
I've seen this by Brian in other games. He waits until the rock is off of the center before he puts a corner guard up. It's an interesting concept. So
It's been working for him.
Yes.
Yes.
Being in the final or semi-final, it does show that it's been working for him. There's been some great games played, some awesome shots all weekend by these two teams. They really have caught on to the ice, and they play well together. All 4 players on each team.
Renee's elected to just guard this one. It's got to sit.
I think one of the things that has helped the mixed and created an interest again in the mixed championship. This is with 15 teams this year. It's really helped build it up. But I think it's the mixed doubles.
Right.
The mixed doubles has allowed the teams to say, "Hey, like we love mixed doubles. Let's play mixed again." Or some of these players have never played mixed. They're saying like, "I want to play mixed too," like because it's so fun. And it's becoming a popular again, I guess, if you will.
I would say the four-person mixed is probably a little more fun than the mixed doubles. The mixed doubles, I wish I could have played that when I was younger. Oh, good roll. That'll get on. It'll get on.
For a biter, and I think they succeeded.
Almost dead buried it, but it just rolled out far enough that Renee and Alex could see it.
Yeah, the mixed doubles is a very fast-paced play, and you don't even realize you're out there for an hour and a half for 8 ends. It's so much fun, and it's created so much enjoyment between so many provinces and so many teams because it's now a national event.
Have you played it in
I
one?
have. Yes,
Okay.
I played in the mixed doubles at the curling club, Comeau, with one of the players that was in this event this weekend, Sam Forrestal, and it was a lot of fun.
How'd you
He
do?
was a great sweeper.
Oh, you got to have a good sweeper.
He was a great sweeper.
How did you do sweeping?
Oh, I did great.
Did you?
I think so.
It's kind of like all the years that we played one-on-one and we swept our own rocks.
Yeah.
Where you got to
Yeah.
jump up and...
That's, that was what we did when we practiced, right?
Exactly.
When we practiced, Terry.
Oh.
Did you practice?
I practiced.
Yes.
I practiced in games.
We had a lot of one-on-one games.
Looking for a little roll in front here.
Looks like it's gonna
Overroll.
overroll a little bit, but got one of them out.
They might
Still
s-
stayed.
Yeah, they got to make a play on it.
That's right. Comeau's team is really looking to force King to score in this end. They have to really stay when they hit this. If they roll out, it could be a potential blank coming up, but
Oh, a force would be huge in this end.
a force would be huge.
I don't think they're staying though.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Carved it over again. You have a better view than me, Sandy. So now they're trying to roll in front of that red rock or double it out.
No, I think that they would just try and roll in on top of it or over towards it to maybe get a jam or potential jam from their opposing team.
This is once it gets inside that 4-foot line, it'll really start coming over. Well, look at this roll, Sandy.
Very nice.
Oh, another foot. A little trickier for them now.
It is. They don't want to move that blue stone that's in behind or at a corner of that yellow rock, but they have a fair bit of room to get a nose hit, but it might lead into a double for King if they do put it close together.
Oh, well thrown rock.
Very nice. Jen and Sarah are just fighting for that third spot to be who's going to be on top because I don't think they've missed a shot yet. Jennifer might have missed one in the first end, but the two teams are playing really well. They've been playing well all weekend.
They got to curl this one over.
Just as I say that,
Yeah, the force is really in play now. They'll just split the rings and
exactly.
or go there.
She just might have thrown it out a little bit on that in-turn, but she did eliminate a rock, which that's important too, but they were hoping for the double there.
Surprised he's not putting more separation in this, but I guess there's a little fear of a hit and roll behind that yellow guard up there.
Yeah, they're probably just putting one in the top of the 4-foot or the tee line. The main goal is to force in this end, especially now that they have the option to put 2 rocks in the house and force Brian King and his team to score 1.
Yeah, and they can't get slack on this. They got to put that rock in a really good spot. Brian is excellent at doubles,
We've seen some this weekend from him, for sure.
Yeah, that's just about perfect, Sandy.
Yeah, that's a good spot. It's hard to double them off without staying. But if he did double them off and didn't stay, Comeau might come around that corner guard that's over there, but at the same time, he wants to try and get shot rock out of hitting one or the other. So he could hit the back one and roll in behind.
Yeah, he's got that option.
He could hit the front one and roll in behind his corner guard.
Or you can just try the thin double and go for the blank.
Exactly. There's options. He's chosen to hit and roll over towards the rock, maybe.
I
looking
think
for a
that's
jam.
the best shot.
Yeah.
Just hit and roll, and maybe Renee will play it safe and just hit and roll out, getting rid of it. Always make him shoot.
That's right.
Just like getting around a guard, even if you're only an inch behind it. The guy throwing it is not looking forward to his shot.
Exactly.
Or girl.
Person.
In mixed, right?
Yes,
Person.
yes.
Yeah.
Not sure where this is going to go. They're kind of on and off it.
Oh, just over the top. Right in between.
Right in between. It was tough. They didn't really try to carve it in. I think they were worried it was going to not get to the rock fast enough, but they didn't really try to carve that in, but they did eliminate. They were looking at a potential force.
Here they're trying to get half in the 8-foot. Would be a perfect shot. Force Brian to draw against 2.
Exactly. That's their goal. Make sure that it's in the house somewhere. That whether or not, if it gets in the house too far, Brian may choose to hit it instead of draw against 2.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But if it's just in and then they don't put it in too far, that if he hit it, he wouldn't be shot. He has to draw against 2. So we'll just see where this ends up.
Ooh, looks like he'll be hitting.
Yeah. Just a nice soft hit, allowing the sweepers to help with the shot. To take his one in this end would be perfect.
Yeah, it's probably a control weight hit right now.
He definitely doesn't want to roll out on this shot because otherwise they'd be down 3. So.
Now, did you use the number system, or did you just yell out control, normal?
I use numbers.
Did you?
Always.
So this would probably be a 10.5.
10 to 10.5, correct. That's what I would want my player or myself to throw, because then you have a little bit of control for
They
the
got to carve this over, Sandy.
curl.
Oh, it's going now.
Yeah, it looks, once you get to that 4-foot line,
Exactly.
that's where we start to see some curl. Looks like a pretty standard shot for Brian. Very good.
Le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso est la solution idéale pour tous vos végétaux. Uplaso est naturel à 100% et offre à vos légumes, fleurs, arbres, fines herbes et plantes d'intérieur un mélange de plus de 57 minéraux, alors que les fertilisants de grandes marques en offrent 3 au plus. Uplaso fait le bonheur de tout ce qui pousse. Obtenez des fruits et légumes plus goûteux, plus gros et plus colorés et éloignez les insectes de façon naturelle. Pour un jardin digne de celui de grand-maman, utilisez le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso. Uplaso's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplaso is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplaso enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of Grandma, use Uplaso All-Purpose Mineralizer.
We've got the first 2 rocks thrown in the third end, and we've got a center guard with a stone just outside the edge of the 4-foot. So Brian's looking for his lead to throw a hit and roll in behind.
Yeah, that outturn draw hung out there again. Tricky spot, throwing the outturn towards the away ice.
And when you're throwing an outturn, sometimes it's the release that causes that. Other times it's the weight.
Yeah, I didn't see Katie's release on her shot. That is a beautiful shot there.
That's very nice. Exactly what they wanted to happen. It did peek out on the side that does curl. So we saw a lot of great shots in the first end from the intern on this side of the sheet. So we'll see what happens with this end going forward. You almost wanted it to stay peeking out on the outturn side to see what was going to happen, but it looks like this one they're really fighting to get it around the corner guard, or the center guard, sorry.
Oh, this is going to be a fun end.
Oh. What great sweeping there to get that in front of that 4-foot yellow stone.
2 perfect shots in a row.
Katie's got her weight.
Katie's got some experience in finals.
Yes, she does.
She's 5-time Scotties.
And so was the third, I believe.
3 times.
3 times for Jennifer. I was talking about experience.
And she's got 2 wild cards as well, so 5 each.
Very good. That's a lot of national experience on the ice, for sure.
That's a lot of finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alex and Renee as well. Alex just went to the mixed doubles with Melissa Adams.
They did quite well.
They did. They were at the Olympic qualifier as well as the mixed doubles. It's so fun to see all these players playing in all these different events and watching them and following them. It's just a treat to be able to represent New Brunswick and do the province proud.
Now, do you remember your first mixed?
My first mix, yes, was 2003. How about you, Terry?
1986. Many moons ago.
I started curling in 1985, so.
That was a fun one. Actually, with the King of Curling, or King of Mix, Grant.
King of Mix.
His second couldn't commit to it, so he asked me to go.
Wow.
There were so many more teams in it back then. I think you had to have a zone back then.
Yeah, it was zones, preliminaries, and provincials. You had 3 weekends, I think, wasn't it?
No, I think it was just
2.
2. I think it was zones and then provincials.
I guess the
Down to
Scotties
16
was-
teams.
Yeah. The Scotties for New Brunswick used to be zones, preliminaries, and provincials.
Right. Same
We
with
had
the
6
same with the
teams.
tankard.
Yeah, 6 teams would win the zone spots, and then 10 teams in the preliminary for a 16-team double knockout.
There's another rock that just came up short. That's 2 now.
When the players are having situations like that, there's a couple of things. It could be the rock. It could be debris on the ice. It could be the player, unfortunately.
Yeah, but that's 2 interns that didn't even get close. I'm thinking it might be a rock issue.
Potential.
Now, unless somebody can throw the home in here, there should be some scoring this end. Where were the mixed you were at in nationals?
The first one was in Abbotsford, BC.
Nice.
The second one was Shania Twain's territory. Do you know where that is?
No.
Timmins, Ontario.
Okay.
Shania Twain is from Timmins, Ontario. And the third one was in Iqaluit, Nunavut.
Whoa, that's a
Yes.
big trip.
The most fun. Oh, what a treat to be able to go there. I mean, it's just such an experience. And they treated us like gold.
Was it cold?
Very, very, very cold.
That was with Scott Jones.
It was. And Pierre Fraser.
What a trip.
And Stephanie Taylor.
Good team.
Yeah, we had lots of fun.
How'd you guys do?
Believe we were 6 and... you know what? That's terrible. You asked me a question.
You didn't win.
We did not win. Exactly.
All right, what do we got here, Sandy? We got 2 rocks in the 4-foot, little bit staggered. Does Brian start eliminating stones, or?
Well, we have 3 rocks in play, all Comeau, and he has hammer.
I think he's
That's
got
what
to
we have.
eliminate a couple of rocks here.
He definitely has to do something, whether he tries to hit and try to get that back one out as well at the same time and make a double. I don't know that he can double these off, but he'd have to put it right in the middle, I think, and hope that it doesn't jam onto his yellow one in the back corner.
And it's too early to start trying to tap rocks back to the 4-foot. There's no need yet.
No. Without hammer, it's
Uh-oh.
hard.
This one's taken off. Enough to get it out.
Yeah. And stay.
Oh, is that number 2?
It may be, which is a great shot. That's a great shot
No.
by...
Not number 2, so they can freeze to that now.
It is not number 2, or it's number 2, so they are freezing.
They got to try to not be too perfect with this. They just need to be in front and counting number 3. Not moving yet.
Definitely want to stay in the tee line area and get it over there as much as possible, but even if it stays at the tee line, they'll be sitting 1 and 2 for sure, and have an option to, keep it that way for the duration of the end.
Yeah, that's all they needed there.
Yep, absolutely. It's a great shot by Jennifer Armstrong.
So Brian will try the double with this rock. Maybe get a couple inches closer to the other one on the side, but even if he does, there's no double there because it'll just land on the yellow.
Did you see the call? I'm wondering if he wants to try for the double with a roll in behind the corner guard.
I don't think there's a double there, Sandy. That yellow rock in the back corner there is in the way.
No, he's thrown the other way.
I think he's doing a straight back double.
No. But with the double, he could get a roll towards the corner guard.
Oh, behind the other corner. Yeah, but he
Yes.
wouldn't be shot rock.
He's a man of many talents when it comes to doubles.
And there's another one.
Very nice shot. Take no chances with that, right?
He might get a chance to sort of hit the backside of the blue over on the side and run it past the yellow over it. Depending on where Renee rolls to here.
Renee's trying to get in behind his blue corner guard.
For sure, yes.
And stay able to make his option easy for his 2 and force Brian to have to hit the outside one over on the left hand of the sheet. That's my take on it. has to do a process of elimination at this point.
Yeah, low pressure shot. Just
Exactly.
get noser, a little bit of a roll to the right.
This is where they throw that controlled weight. The sweepers are involved. They're calling for the line,
Yep.
and they make the perfect hit and roll.
And that's perfect.
Absolutely. Just as I called it.
Yes, good job, Sandy. They
Thank
might
you.
have heard you.
So again, just as I said, Brian would have to hit the open one and hope for a giving up only a 2. Now, if he hits and rolls out, they're still only going to get 2 because of the Yellowstone being over there, and there's only 2 blue rocks in the house. So if he happens to miss, it's a draw for 3, but definitely an option to stay in there for shot rock and causing Renee Comeau to have to hit and maybe roll out and only get 1. So there's options there for both teams to stay in this end.
I always tried to hit and get as close to the 4-foot line as possible. Because,
The 4-foot line is tricky.
yeah,
Yeah. Always, if you can get in there and kind of bring it over a little bit.
just like that. Just half on the 4-foot line. Then you got a decision. Do you want to throw the out turn at it, which could take off, or do you want to throw the in turn at it, which could hang out?
And the out turn, oftentimes a lot of players, when it's so close to that center line, end up potentially sometimes going right down that center line.
Right. And I going by the draw that they put over to the side, that didn't curl very much. I'm expecting this to just hang a little bit. Weight is important on this one.
I'm sure it'll be a controlled, using all your players shot. And when you have a controlled weight shot, you can use your sweepers, and the front end is really good sweepers. They have been controlling a lot of shots going into the house for Team Comeau.
Perfect weight here, Sandy.
And they're staying close to it and making sure that it has no debris under it, nothing's going to change, and it's an easy shot for 2. Team Comeau up
4-1.
4-1.
Le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso est la solution idéale pour tous vos végétaux. Uplaso est naturel à 100% et offre à vos légumes, fleurs, arbres, fines herbes et plantes d'intérieur un mélange de plus de 57 minéraux, alors que les fertilisants de grandes marques en offrent 3 au plus. Uplaso fait le bonheur de tout ce qui pousse. Obtenez des fruits et légumes plus goûteux, plus gros et plus colorés et éloignez les insectes de façon naturelle. Pour un jardin digne de celui de grand-maman, utilisez le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso. Uplaso's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplaso is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplaso enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of Grandma, use Uplaso all-purpose mineralizer.
And we're back.
A little bit of a commanding lead here.
It is again, as you said in the commercial break, that there's lots of curling left. It's mixed curling. They just have to dig deep. Brian King's team has to focus on their shots and make everyone count. It's because it's only 4 ends. They have a 4th end break. They need to score in this 4th end before they go to the break.
I like what Renee's doing here. There's no time to get defensive yet. Just keep the pressure on.
Absolutely.
Even if that slips in, Brian's kind of forced to put up another corner guard either way.
Yeah. But you really don't want it to slip in. You want to kind of put more force on and keep it up front where he can't touch it, and keep it on the center line where he can't move it anywhere.
Right.
Right? Because of the new rule that's in place for that center line.
No ticky.
No ticky rule. But he is going around his corner guard. Starting to work for his double. That's generally what we like to do, is put up our corner guards. Sometimes you put up 2 corner guards when you're down, but he's chosen to go around his first corner guard with success.
Ooh, surprise.
There's been a lot of this over the weekend, and that's why there's been a lot of rocks in play over the weekend.
Well, this definitely puts a lot of rocks in play if he's guarding that again.
Now, if I was playing in a final, I'm not sure I would be considering this, but they've been playing well. They're undefeated. They know how to put pressure on their opposing teams. So, it's working for them.
That yellow looks like it's exposed, though, doesn't it?
I don't think they're too worried about the yellow at this point in time. They're going to probably field the corner guard on their next shot. They may not. They're in good shape. They have the top 4. They might just say, let's try and steal this end in the 4th end.
This is lined up for a triple and 2 guards.
It is, isn't it? I was thinking the same thing. Especially with who's throwing. You've got Alex throwing.
If he plays an intern at it, he could have 2 corners. And possibly that top blue would end up guarding the yellow. And get the triple. I think we'll see some weight coming at this one. Oh, he's going the other way with it, Sandy.
Yeah, he's throwing the out turn at it. It could be just the preference from his player, or what they know for the ice, what they want to throw for.
He'll still end up guarding that yellow if he makes this. No, just didn't quite slide that over enough.
Do you know what? It's not a bad shot. They got both of the blue rocks out of the house, or one in front, but they got the rock that's in the 4, just touching the 4 foot maybe out of the house, and they've got options of a whole half of a sheet.
Yeah, unfortunately, the yellow and the blue are staggered, so if they get the perfect roll or the draw behind,
it's going to be tough.
It's going to take a couple rocks to get it out. Very aggressive. Like you said, they can still get to the yellow whenever they want.
Absolutely. I think we see a lot more play like this because of mixed doubles. The girls feel more comfortable, confident. The guys feel more confident and comfortable. There's more of these type of shots that are made.
Oh, just rubbed.
Just
They
a
might
hair
still
light.
sneak it. Did that sneak under, or is it
That was
wide
great
open?
sweeping by the girls trying to get that by. But it just kissed, and it is shot rock, and I believe it is open.
Now, if Brian's team can get this little roll behind, they're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're trying to get a roll behind, but it would work. I'm not sure if there's enough room to get a little roll behind. Great sweeping by the girls.
Tucked more than half of it.
It is still available, but I don't think they're going to play with trying to get that out.
The yellow blue's lined up pretty good. That blue could end up spilling off of the wide yellow and rolling right behind all the all the rocks.
Definitely. I don't know they want to. I don't know if they want to stay. He kind of pointed that he was going to hit and roll over, but I would think that he'd want to just eliminate the throwing rock. But
Yeah, he's got to clean that up.
yeah, he's definitely. This is what can happen when you're, playing a little aggressive when you're up 3 already,
Right.
and putting rocks in front of the house.
Get yourself in a little trouble.
Yeah.
She's got to get this run back, at least 1 out. She needs half a rock, minimum.
And got 1, but I'm not sure they're shot rock, which would allow Brian to leave the blue rock there and draw around for his second point. It was a very good angled hit. It was unfortunate that it didn't end up being shot rock, but it's favoring the King team just to be able to get a second shot in here for them to sit 1 and 2 and maybe get back in this game.
On off on the sweeping. Weight looks pretty good.
It does.
You want to
They
carve
need
that
to
in.
Carve it in as soon as they possibly
Actually,
can.
it'll do it all by itself. What a great shot.
That is a great shot to be able to sit 2 by Sarah.
How buried is that yellow rock over on the side?
It's pretty good. I can take a look for. You can see about a quarter of it on the outside edge.
Uh-oh.
They have to be careful because that blue rock now has the option to help them potentially get that rock out if they needed to make a double in the end. But at the same time, Brian's got to make sure that he gets a third rock in here. He has the option to come around. That rock is buried, so you don't want to end up setting up a double there.
No.
Right? But
Just through the draw, so
if she could sit right on top of it, it would be fantastic.
don't want to
It's
bump
just
though.
A very tough shot to ask of your player, especially when you're down 3. You do have to take some chances though, but not take away your scoring opportunity.
Trying to go around it. Ooh, left a little window of opportunity. I don't think he can get the inside roll. Are they looking at that?
They're looking, but I don't know if it's possible.
That seems like the hardest of all his options.
Well, if he makes this, there is a potential double there.
It must be edge on edge.
It the way that you see it at behind the glass, it looks like it is a potential raise back double, and then with shot.
Oh, even if he noses it and he plants it right on the rock on the center
He's
line
sitting number 2
and guarded.
and guarded. Correct. We'll expect some heat coming.
That's hanging. That's hanging. It's close.
He got one of them out. Brian King's team is still sitting 2, but it is open, and they'll have to figure out how they can put that third rock in there somewhere.
Yeah, would you think about hitting that blue on the nose?
I would be, I mean, you potentially could, but if you roll out, then he hits and rolls in behind those guards and you've lost your end completely.
I wouldn't be thinking roll out by hitting it. I would think, where would you want to leave it? Like right on the nose or a little roll in? I think right on the nose. I mean, the only other option would be to draw in turn around the other yellow. I like this call. Just hit it.
What's not there doesn't count.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you could be drawing in for your 3 to keep your draw weight for your last rock if they happen to hit and roll out or anything like that. But at the same time, put more pressure on them in a different way. Now he switched rocks for some reason. Maybe he likes his other rock for a drop possibility.
Most likely. Be the rock that he threw in the draw to the button, or
Yeah, it could be anything. So he's opted to hit and probably stay. He doesn't really want to roll too much.
good looking shot here.
And it's just off nose.
Makes the double a little
the
easier.
Double.
Yeah, it makes it a little easier for the... I don't think the triple's there.
As more of a finesse player, I think I would have thrown the draw.
Yeah?
To allow the separation of the 3 rocks, like to be in your control. That was in your control as well, but with the weight that was thrown, it ended up getting a little close, and there is a potential double and then a force that potentially he only gets 2 instead of the potential 3 that he could have gotten by separating the rocks.
Yes. I would have played the hit.
Pardon me?
I would have played the hit because I would think that I would have my draw weight regardless right now.
Absolutely.
In the fourth end.
For sure. Elimination is good, always good, right?
Now when the ice gets a little funny, then you start thinking about, okay, well, if it's a little soft in the middle, maybe I don't want to be drawing on my last rock. Ooh. Ooh, he almost got a frozen corner guard, or frozen to that yellow out of that. Great shot.
Absolutely. Nice double there by Rene Comeau. Good sweeping by the front end. And now Brian, as much as he wanted a 3, is really happy if he gets this 2.
Oh yes, at the start of the end, if you offered him 2, he would have taken it.
That's right. Good end played by both teams here. Brian has a hit. He's got lots of room across the ice just to have a little roll if he needs to. He needs to make sure that he just eliminates this rock for his 2.
Oh, see some carving coming. No problem.
Great shot. And 2 for Team King.
Proud supporters of Curling NB. Hoop Lasso. Visit www.hooplasso.ca to learn about our mineralizer and to find a retailer near you. BrokerLink Insurance. BrokerLink has a group rate for members of Curling NB. Visit www.brokerlink.ca to get your quote today. The Brannen Icebreaker. The Jake Thomas Celebrity Curling Classic. The Government of New Brunswick. The Curling NB Hall of Fame. Visit www.facebook.com/CNBHOF for all information regarding the Curling NB Hall of Fame and this year's nominations. Egg Farmers Rocks and Rings Program. Visit www.rocksandrings.com to bring the Rocks and Rings program to your school's gymnasium or community function. Sport New Brunswick. Visit www.sportnb.com to learn more. Coaching Association of Canada. Visit www.coach.ca to learn more. And Curling Canada. Visit www.curling.ca to view all future upcoming events.
Le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso est la solution idéale pour tous vos végétaux. Uplaso est naturel à 100% et offre à vos légumes, fleurs, arbres, fines herbes et plantes d'intérieur un mélange de plus de 57 minéraux, alors que les fertilisants de grandes marques en offrent 3 au plus. Uplaso fait le bonheur de tout ce qui pousse. Obtenez des fruits et légumes plus goûteux, plus gros et plus colorés et éloignez les insectes de façon naturelle. Pour un jardin digne de celui de grand-maman, utilisez le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso. Uplaso's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplaso is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplaso enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of grandma, use Uplaso all-purpose mineralizer.
And we're back after the fourth end break. Quite a quick break there. I don't think they took their full 5 minutes, Terry. They're excited to get this show rolling.
Yeah, maybe they asked the official if they could just get going.
Both teams have to decide that they are okay with it, if that does happen, which I'm sure with an 8-end game like this, you just want to keep going and keep playing. You're on a roll or you're not on a roll. Either one doesn't matter.
Oh, it was probably their 5 minutes. We were just in a good conversation.
Maybe that's it. But I will say it's a great game. The score is 4-3 for Comeau, and he has hammer. Looks like there's already a center guard, Terry.
Center guard, come around, a little deep. And we were just talking about the ages. And it's nice to see can we call them younger?
Oh yes.
The younger ones.
Compared to you and I.
They're in their
Absolutely.
30s. They're in their prime of curling right now.
I
The old
remember
guys
this.
are out. I think Grant's 60 now,
Yes.
playing and keeping up with the young ones.
Grant has a chance to play in the Masters, I believe.
Charlie's a senior. They just won the senior men's.
Absolutely.
Good for them. Finally knocked Mike Kennedy out of the throne.
This looks like a great shot. Right in the top 4. They're looking to see if it is in the 4-foot or fully in the 4-foot.
Yeah, it's a beauty shot by Sierra. It's game on this end. This is going to be exciting. They want to just get on the corner of that yellow. That would be a perfect shot for them.
Out of these 8 players out playing this semi-final game, I guess, I'm not sure how many of them have been to a mixed, Terry, but I know it's probably a first for a few of them.
Well, I asked before the game, and there was nobody out there that'd been to a mixed national. Was there? I forgot. I asked the question and I forgot the answer.
You should have remembered that.
But I'm pretty sure it was just said that they had mixed doubles success.
Absolutely.
And
for sure.
that was mostly Alex. And the other Alex trying to get around the guard.
Oftentimes the competitors are worried about the conflict with their playing in spiels because they have a Scotties team or they have a Brier team that they want to represent New Brunswick at. And sometimes the mixed event that is in generally the curling season is conflict with potential cash spiel or a points event for the Scotties or Brier option to get those CTR points.
Right.
So a lot of the competitors that play in the Scotties and the Brier don't necessarily want to win the provincial and represent their province at mixed because of that. But I think because of the changes, potential dates and things like that, and more people are playing mixed doubles, they want to play in this because it keeps their teams together. You know, like you could have your mixed doubles, two mixed doubles teams playing together in a provincial event, and you just get that much more experience together. So, because mixed doubles is also now a national event and an Olympic event.
Oh, it's a big event. It's huge.
Huge.
Right up there with pickleball.
Absolutely. Which we have next door at the Curl Moncton Club.
And it's such a fast-paced game. I really enjoy watching it.
Mixed doubles?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Strategy, 5 rocks, amazing.
No thinking time.
No thinking time. You just play.
Well, that was a nice shot, putting that second yellow there. That's going to run straight back onto the blue. Alex is going to need a nice shot here.
They're all lined up, very tight to the center line from the guard right into the 4-foot.
Now, if he plants it right on the yellow, it will drag that other yellow over a little bit and might roll out, getting rid of both yellows.
This is where mixed doubles comes into play for Alex. He's got a lot of experience throwing these shots, probably just by himself.
Ooh, those rocks went nowhere.
But they did not, did they?
I thought he hit it perfect. Again, our angle is a little bit off here.
But he did get his rock buried behind his center guard, which it's not a bad option, but they do have hammers, so...
And has him in position for a double there. The two yellows.
Absolutely.
So Brian's just going to ask that this rock be right on top of the other yellow, make things difficult. Might be a little light again.
You want to make that blue rock look like it's a lonely old blue rock against three yellow rocks at this point. Looks like it might be a little light. The sweepers are working really hard at getting it to top 12. You can get it by that guard. Pretty good stagger if you do say so. They're not really looking at the double yet, which is surprising at this point with the guards.
Yeah, they're going to want to have a look, see if that double is more manageable than trying to freeze. Even with a freeze, you're looking at only getting one. Is that blue shot? Is blue sitting number 2?
Blue is number 2, I would say. Absolutely. It looks like the yellow is just touching the 12-foot potentially, and the blue is not.
So a freeze would be really good here, and it would almost assure them of one in the end.
It's the 5th end. It's only 8 ends of curling. It's not 10, which a lot of our provincial events are. But it is 8 ends of curling. They only they want to make sure they make the right call on this shot. Again, it's always nice to have even ends when you have hammer. And they're looking at this being their 5th end, but they also can, you know, look at trying to score 2 and being up 6-3 going into the 6th. But they have to do something here that's going to cause that to be able to happen, right, Terry?
Well, they like I said, they want to get number 1 in there. Basically, 1 this end, being up 2 again. That's the comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Now, what do you like better, 8 or 10 ends for a provincial final?
I like 10 ends. I think it gives you a little bit more room to strategize. 8 ends, if you get down, it's hard to come back, but it doesn't make your players as tired for 8 end games, playing so many games in a short weekend.
Very close. Very close.
Decide to make the double.
Got to hit it.
And
nice shot.
Without question, done by Jennifer Armstrong.
That was key. They still left the draw, though. And the hit and roll.
I think Rene Comeau just wanted to make sure that Jennifer was okay with making that shot and making sure it was going to be made for them to sit 2. And that's maybe why he brought the whole team together, to make sure they were all on the same page.
And checking with Jennifer to see what shot she preferred.
Absolutely. And still, Brian's team has lots of room here to get a hit and roll and stay buried behind guards, which it looks like was done with success.
Well done, yeah.
And potentially buried, but they can still make the draw and possibly tap that back.
How much do you think they can see? Quarter? 1/8?
They might only be able to see a quarter of it, but it is a draw and it will come in.
I think they're trying to bump it, Sandy.
Yeah, they might be able to see just a little bit more than a quarter, almost half. But yeah, they're trying to get sit 2, but they don't want to hit it too hard. They really have to get this sweeping so that it gets by.
Putting putting the carve on it now. Look at this shot by Jennifer. Oh,
That's a
is that any
fantastic
good?
shot. You know, just like you said, Terry, the option here is to make sure that you score. If you score, you're up to, you know, going into the sixth end. It's a great option. So right now it looks like they may only be able to score one, but if Brian's team gets on top of this, it's going to be a great shot and potential.
Well, at this point, Brian's hoping to hold them to one.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, he could set himself up for something on his last rock, but it does look like he might be able to just get on top of that to hold them to one. Yes.
Great end, back and forth. Looks like you have the advantage. Then you don't have it. Then you do have it. Then you don't have it.
That's when it's exciting for sure. Keeps everybody's on their toes out there. They really have to make precise shots, and sweepers are a key.
He can afford a little bump here, but I don't think he can bump it too far.
They're on it right away. It's right on that 4-foot line, so they've got to make sure that it crosses that 4-foot line before they can do anything.
Holding it straight now. Looking pretty good. Just can't bump it too hard. Oh, look at this shot. Another beauty.
Wow, that's a great shot by Brian King.
And now he's got the
Sweeper
option.
stayed on it the whole way down. Made sure that they didn't let up on it, and it got right to a spot that's good for them.
How much of that is exposed? More than half, right? I almost have to think about guarding it. Yeah, I think they're just putting the guard on it. What do you think?
Yep.
Yeah, just
They are guarding that.
that's going to leave Brian the intern for shot rock after this.
A
Unless
very
that blue's
difficult
great on
shot.
it.
I think I think their rock potentially is on the button. I don't know that the intern is, and they don't want to set up a shot for Renee Comeau to get to at this point. They want to, if they don't think they can get shot rock, they're going to make sure that he can't get to.
Yeah, it's going to be a guard-guard situation.
Correct.
A guard-guard and a possible throwaway.
Potential. Interesting to throw a guard when you have hammer on your shot rock.
And you're only lying one, yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost depressing.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a final, semi-final game. If Comeau wins, he wins the title, him and his team. And why not? If you know you're going to for sure score and be up 2 without hammer going into number 6, you know, they'll have 2 ends to your 1, but you also have a little bit of control on how you score in the nearing the ends, the last few ends.
I wish we could run down there and see who shot and by how much. Brian does have the option of running that blue straight back. What do you think?
Do you take a chance? Because if you mess up, there's a potential that your rock could go out the back.
But you are covering a lot of that 4-foot right now, so the draw for Renee on the intern side would be difficult already. Might be worth a shot. I think they're playing it.
This is where, as a team, might be interested in taking their time out to make sure that they're not making the wrong call. They're calling it kind of from the other end and not getting together as a team. But Brian is also very good at these angle shots, and throwing raised hits and making a lot of doubles over the weekend. So
He's close. Oh, they just got on the sweeping a little too late. Oof.
just curled up too much. What a great effort, though. But did he leave him an option to get his two?
Yes. Tough draw for two, but he left the option for him.
This is where you question whether or not you play that shot or you throw a guard for them not to get more than one. What a great effort. They almost got that. It would have been potential. I think it might have been a potential sitting two with a guard. And instead, Comeau's team has a draw for two.
It was a sitting one for sure if he made contact. They really got to go on this one. It's close.
It's really close. They're sweeping like
Oh, they
crazy
think they
to try
got
and
the
get
weight.
in there.
And
They've got the arms up. Everybody on the ice has got the arm up.
high fives. It's
And I
good for two.
I believe the sweepers got it in there for two for Rene Comeau.
What an end.
But it looks like they're double checking just to be sure, but a great effort regardless. We're going to do a measure.
Perhaps
Almost kicked it away.
we were high-fiving the effort.
Yeah, they were definitely high-fiving the effort, and maybe it is, but, you know, it's a final, semi-final game, and you don't want to leave any stones
Unturned.
unturned, but thinking that, geez, I should have measured that, I should have made sure. It's so close. What a great sweeping by the front end, the Rene Comeau front end.
That was a long walk to the measuring stick. I'm surprised it wasn't a little closer.
It's funny, there is two sets of measuring sticks, but there's only one biter stick. So we watched from ice 1 to ice 5, going to get the measuring stick that's way over at one end and all the way to the other. So it's great that they have the two for the two ends for the one that's being used right now for the center outward, but the biter stick is there's only one, and it's quite far away from all the curlers' sheets over the weekend.
Well, you know, maybe by 2060 they'll just have lasers all set up
That's right.
above the
everything will be-
houses, and you can just press a button and it'll tell you.
That's right. Everything will be digitalized.
So what happened there? Did she kick the yellow or the blue rock back first, or two blue? We have confirmation that it's two blue.
Two blue for Comeau to go up 6-3, going into the sixth end.
Le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso est la solution idéale pour tous vos végétaux. Uplaso est naturel à 100% et offre à vos légumes, fleurs, arbres, fines herbes et plantes d'intérieur un mélange de plus de 57 minéraux, alors que les fertilisants de grandes marques en offrent 3 au plus. Uplaso fait le bonheur de tout ce qui pousse. Obtenez des fruits et légumes plus goûteux, plus gros et plus colorés et éloignez les insectes de façon naturelle. Pour un jardin digne de celui de grand-maman, utilisez le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso. Uplaso's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplaso is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplaso enhances everything that grows, get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of Grandma, use Uplazo All-Purpose Mineralizer.
And we're back. We've got Katie throwing her last draw around her center guard.
Situation normal.
Yes.
The center guard's up, the corner guard's up, and the draw behind the center guard. A little hot right now.
And as you saw in the fourth end, King team had a chance to get 3, but only opted to get 2. But this is how the end started for them. So they're hoping for another recap of that end, but with better results.
Drawing right through the hole. Lots of room there, Sandy. Sweepers like the weight.
It looks like it's a little hot. They're waiting for it to get through the hole, but they also weren't able to sweep it because of the weight.
And lots of rotation on that.
Yes, it was a great rock throw by Sierra.
It seems to be the trend now. More rotation on the rocks.
Absolutely.
Easier to handle with the broom management now, where you can carve it. And we used to always think that if you had that much rotation, it would just run straight forever.
You look at Rachel Holman's rotation on her rocks.
Ooh, yeah, tons.
Most I think I've ever seen. But all the players are starting to have lots of rotation, allowing the rock to curl when it needs to,
and Mowat's team from Scotland.
Mowat's crazy. Yeah.
I think they throw the most, and they're number 1 in the world. So, what does that tell you?
Says a lot. Says a lot. But that directional sweeping is really what has changed curling, as well as the rotation on the rocks and the ice and the way that the play is now. It's amazing the athleticism that is required in order to stay in the games to be able to sweep that many rocks at the length and how they work the rocks with their sweeping abilities.
Yeah, we did run into a little bit of broomgate back in the mid 2014, 15, 16, where the fabric on the brooms was creating some chaos.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they might as well have put steering wheels on the rocks.
Yeah.
Here we go. 4 rocks behind the tee line. 2 guards up front. Think there'll be a score this end?
I think so. Brian's team, who's down 3, has 2 yellow rocks in play. They're number 3 and 4, which is okay. They're in play. There's options for them to start, trying to create some taps or get around guards to get those yellow rocks in and maybe generate some jams.
Yeah, I'd be very happy if I was yellow right now. Down by 3, trying to get back in the game. Just keep punching them back until you get the perfect setup.
Exactly.
Now that was a
great draw around the center guard.
Yeah. They gotta do something. They can't just let everything just keep mounting up. I mean, they got enough rocks in there now. Now they have to start getting their rocks into scoring position. A hit and roll on this would come in pretty handy.
Yeah, you do have to, you could tap rocks back and kind of roll them in, or you can play the hit and rolls. You just have to make sure, no matter what you choose to do, that you keep your rocks in play. At this point in the game, you're down 3. You need all the rocks you can possibly keep.
They're liking it. Not quite rolled over enough.
Just needed a little bit more. Teams still fist pumping each other. Still see some smiles out there. They're working hard to stay in this game, the Bryan King team.
It's close, Sandy. A nice shot by Jennifer. Jennifer curling 95% to this point.
All in your head, Terry, but yes.
Well, I've been doing the math in my head.
She's there's a lot of experience on the Comeau rink with the Scotties and the mixed doubles and the Briars.
I think with that roll, we can safely say that Brian's team is in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
They need to get rid of 3 blue rocks that are fully or partially covered by that center guard.
Well, and this is where you wonder if you try to get rid of that center guard, just mentioning the center guard, you know. But they're going to try and hit and roll in behind. But
I think they're trying to get, no, I think they're trying to get that double. Now we're talking.
See
3
how
yellow
quickly-
rocks, 1 blue.
Yeah.
And we got that corner guard up there for the hero shot to score multiple.
You know those ones.
Personal favorite.
Yeah. This really has to be made by the Comeau rink to put some more pressure on Brian's team, on the King team, but both teams are in control of their own destiny at this point.
Yeah, she wants the double, or if it hangs,
Exactly.
the perfect roll.
Lots of rotation, good weight.
Ooh. No, that's pretty good. The hero shot is still there, though.
Mm-hmm. This is where you have to make a decision. Do you know, play that rock in the back so that you're still sitting 3, and then, like you said, play that hero shot for Brian, or do you peel the guard?
It
He's
peels the
opting
guard.
to
I think
peel the
that
guard.
I think you can safely say yellow's going to disappear. On the next shot. Now for Comeau's team, it's
And he's opting to throw a guard.
this has got to be perfect.
It has to be perfect.
What would you do? I'm thinking I would hit a yellow out. Process of elimination.
You're up 3. You don't need a guard there. You need to put more pressure on the opposing team and get rid. Elimination is wonderful at this point. You're sitting 1 and 2 already. You could hit the outside 12-foot one. You could, but at the same time, you hit the outside 12-foot one. You roll out. He makes a double. With the guard behind, he could still potentially get 3. But yeah, I mean, a guard is a great call when you're sitting 1 and 2. You're up 3 without hammer. It's not a bad result.
You don't want to be tight either. There's so many things that could go wrong with this guard.
Confidence is everything, though. If you really believe that you've got a good back pocket draw weight and you know your guard weight, he did not hesitate to put the broom down for this shot and made it perfect.
I don't think he could have walked it to a better spot.
Without question, didn't even hesitate. That's why they have been undefeated to this point.
Sure. I think Renee's at 95% too. They all are. Is he electing just to knock it out? Take a blue out? Leave. Oh, I love it.
I think what he's doing is what you suggested, Terry, earlier. He's going to hit this and see what they do, and then he's going to play that corner yellow, which Brian is very good at making, doubles and hits and angle hits. So I think he's got that in his back pocket, and he's feeling that that's his pressure shot, and that's what he's going to have to throw in the end. So why not just make this one count?
And Renee will be attempting a double on this next shot. Has to be. Oh no, that's not what he wanted to do. I think he's got to get rid of a rock. Even if he's not shot, Brian's still playing that corner guard into the...
And it will only be for 2. If he doesn't make shot, it would be at that angle for 2. He eliminates it, sits there. If he gets shot rock, they have to make a double for 2.
Right.
But if he even if he ends up rolling out or nosing, Brian still has the same result shot that he has to make for his 2.
Yeah, he's down to an all or nothing shot. He's got it set up the way he wanted. No, the way he wanted, he'd be line 4 or 5.
Yeah, I was going to say the way he wanted. The only option that he potentially created by hitting the other rocks and leaving that
It's close.
center guard.
This is where it starts carving over. That's a good shot.
Yep. Now the shot he has is the angle hit for 2. Or he draws for his 1, being down 2. So he could take his medicine and draw for his 1. He's got the full 4-foot to draw to. Or he can go for the angle hit for his 2 to be down 1. It's the 6 then. There's still some play. If he was down 2, he could steal 1 or 2. If he doesn't make this, he'll be down 7-3.
The weight choice is critical on this. I don't think you want to overthrow it because you have to stay. I think just a normal weight.
Yeah, just you think a 9-5, 9-9-5 in that range.
Right. If I knew numbers that good. I usually just yelled out what I threw after I threw it.
This is a critical shot right now to stay in this game, to be able to continue his journey to win the title
Oh,
of
it's over curling.
provincial.
One more blue.
So unfortunately, it's a steal of 1. Fortunately for Comeau, steal of 1 to go up 7-3 after 6.
Uplaso's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplaso is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplaso enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of Grandma, use Uplaso All-Purpose Mineralizer. Le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso est la solution idéale pour tous vos végétaux. Uplaso est naturel à 100% et offre à vos légumes, fleurs, arbres, fines herbes et plantes d'intérieur un mélange de plus de 57 minéraux, alors que les fertilisants de grandes marques en offrent 3 au plus. Uplaso fait le bonheur de tout ce qui pousse. Obtenez des fruits et légumes plus goûteux, plus gros et plus colorés et éloignez les insectes de façon naturelle. Pour un jardin digne de celui de grand-maman, utilisez le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso.
And we're back. Looks like we got a corner guard and we got one of the Comeau rock in the house nearing the button. Same process as last end. They're looking like they're going to try and put some pressure on the king team by putting some rocks in play and putting some guards out front, but they're trying to tighten it up and put them in the 4-foot, keeping 2 rocks in the house at all times. Brian will have to make a decision on what he wants to do, if he wants to put another corner guard, put another guard somewhere, because he needs to be able to get a few points here for sure to stay in this game. This is a situation where the Comeau rink has to stay focused and make sure that they don't give anything away. And the King rink has to make sure they make every shot to perfection.
For the King team, lots of rocks in play. Important. For the Comeau team, eliminate everything.
As much as you can. We used to see a lot of rocks being thrown through the house at this time, Terry, back in many days. When you're up 4
Yeah.
and it's the second last end and you don't want any rocks in play, like you put your first one in the top 4, you throw your second one through. But you see Rene Comeau put his first rock on the tee line and his second rock in the top 12.
Yeah, they actually went a little bit behind the tee line, which works in Brian's favor. I would be tempted to peel that out if we put our first one in behind the tee line.
And again, that's what used to be. Now they play so aggressive. The play is so aggressive, and you just want to keep your focus on, like, almost like not changing the way that you've been playing and been successful at playing. Because the minute you change your focus and try to eliminate, the first miss, you end up sitting 2 or 3. Your opponents end up like potential scoring because of it, right? You stay focused on what you're doing good at, and you just continue to put points on the board. Potentially.
Well, one more blue, it's over. No blues, it's over. No blues, no yellows. We'll see Rene get up there and start ripping those corners out. Throwing a hit.
Throwing a hit and roll. Moving some granite around.
Beautifully done.
Successful. Very successful. That's what they need to do, is get some rocks behind those corner guards. They're going to be gone soon anyway, but if you can get them in the house and move them around, the other option is to keep your yellow rocks in front of those blue ones that Comeau rink put in place.
Think he can get them both, Sandy? He's got the weight for it.
I think if you get one, you're happy.
Yeah, that's all they want.
Yes, Alex didn't have any trouble peeling that guard. Not sure if it was a 5-second or 5.2 seconds.
It was pretty low.
It was pretty low. Those long legs of his, they get out to that hog line pretty quick.
Oh, it was effortless.
He can do that extension pretty easily.
And they attempt to go around the other corner. Lie 2.
It's as much as you want more than 2, but if you can get 2, 2 or 3 keeps you in the game.
Absolute must to get 2.
Absolute must. You need 2 or more. Looks like just came up light on this one, unfortunately. They're going to start eliminating the rocks that are in play. making sure that nothing counts at this point.
Well, with 2 guards up there, there's still the potential for 3, and freezing on the rock behind the tee line. There's still options.
Absolutely.
They got the call they should, or they got the rock they wanted. That looks like it's lined up for the potential freeze to be able to get it out with just a straight back.
Yeah.
What's the call here, Sandy?
Well, I'm thinking he's throwing a draw. He should be throwing a draw around those corner guards. Sarah's trying to get around that corner guard, and they're sweeping it like crazy, but it seems to be short again. Unfortunately, they keep coming up short of the rings.
They haven't figured out that spot yet.
It's hard when you're trying so hard to make that perfect draw because you know you're down and you've got to get around that guard. But even if it was back 12 or
Anything.
back 8,
Yep.
you know, you need to make sure that you are in the rings anywhere.
Have to get in the
Especially
rings.
when you're down so much. But it's hard to stay focused when it's you know, it's a battle. You need to, you know, have that mindset that you're still in it, that you're still gonna, you know, make every shot and you're gonna, you know, get your 2 or 3 and stay in the game.
Yeah, and you don't want to downplay it and say it's only 4. But have you noticed on the Comeau Moncton scoreboard that a 4-point lead looks massive?
Well, when there's only 2 ends to play, it's a lot for a team to come back from. Yes, that's what you're trying to say.
No, I mean, like the scoreboard is set up. Maybe the numbers are wider or something, but
You're getting old, Terry. Oh my.
that's why you don't want to trail here. Well, they gotta move some blue out of there.
Yeah, in order for them to even get on the board, they're going to have to make a couple of key shots right here, right now.
Could roll over to a freeze. Oh, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. There is some options with that rock. That's where you have to be when you're down. You have to be in front of the opposing team so that you can cause jams when they try to get something out, if they're going to try and get something out. In this regard, they're already kind of into Skip's rocks, and is all Team Comeau's going to do is protect what's in there for them to capture this end.
It was such a good roll that he has to ignore it. But Brian's got to still hit that on the nose, which is going to leave a potential easy double for Renee. I thought Renee might sneak another one in there.
Yeah, and I think he's playing quite tight to the rings, but yeah, it wouldn't. You know, I mean, he's sitting 3 right now, and Brian's going to have a difficult time trying to find a place to score at this point.
If they left that alone and guarded that yellow, that wouldn't be a bad option.
They're trying to protect their shot rock, and they're pretty darn close, but there is an opening for Brian to get a hit and roll or get in there for shot rock. Again, the minimum that he wants to score is 2, so this is going to be a potential skipper's deuce, if anything at all.
Still a potential 3 there. If he hits and rolls, then what's Renee do? He's got to put another rock in the rings to eliminate that easy double that's sitting right out in front. the run back double.
That run back doubles.
He's got to hit and roll behind his yellows here for any chance of that. Looking pretty good.
Stay close to it. They want to stay close to it and get it. That looks like really nice weight and a really nice shot by Brian.
I'm surprised they
We might
carved
end up
that
with a
at the end.
skipper's deuce for sure here, or a very difficult shot for one. I'm not sure how much you can see of that rock. It looks like it's pretty open. Unfortunately, they just needed to leave that to get by those yellow ones, but they might have been able to sweep it to get it just enough to get behind those guards, but it was still a very good shot by Brian and his team. I don't think Rene Comeau has made any mistakes in this game. He's had a fantastic weekend. His team has had a fantastic weekend. There's a lot of experience on this team, allowing them to play with comfort and confidence.
They better carve that a little bit. Ooh, Sandy, I think he might have announced or jinxed him. Interesting. Shot for 3 now. Is it
They
there?
have to be very careful. They need to make 2. Oh, we got a timeout.
I don't think it's there for 3.
This is very interesting. This is what they needed. Unfortunately, they needed a miss by Skip Comeau. They needed something to give them a little bit of life here and get a chance to score more than one.
They gotta
don't.
hope that that yellow, when it hits the blue, sort of runs it straight back a bit. Because the angle doesn't look good from here. Looks like it's just jamming on it all day.
They need to make sure they get 2. 3 would be a bonus, but they need to make sure they get their 2. You can come back from down 2, but it's, you know, I mean, they are on the board now. They don't want to mess that up. They want to make sure that they get 2. Do they take this chance and try and get 3? Because that's the only reason you would call this shot is for 3.
Oh, right. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just drawing for 2.
Exactly.
Right through the big hole on the right side of that blue rock.
Correct.
And I think there's a possibility. It's gotta drag it.
We didn't think was there for 3. It was the double. Like hit and stay, like the blue rock rolled just a little, or was it?
Oh, last night.
Was it last night?
Is that last night in G2, or you're thinking of something that Charlie did? Can't remember.
I thought it was Brian that did that.
Well, we're about to find out if it's there or not. I could have ran downstairs and looked at the overhead.
Oh, yes. Obviously, as a player and as an experienced skip, he is thinking it's there, and he's going to try it for his 3 and hope that if it is not, that he gets 2 for sure.
No, Just straight jam, but
Oh, does it look like it? He got two for sure. What a great effort to try and capture a three-ender after looking like he wasn't even going to get one. He got two, down two, going into 8 without hammer.
Uplaso's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplaso is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplaso enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of Grandma, use Uplaso all-purpose mineralizer. Le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso est la solution idéale pour tous vos végétaux. Uplaso est naturel à 100% et offre à vos légumes, fleurs, arbres, fines herbes et plantes d'intérieur un mélange de plus de 57 minéraux, alors que les fertilisants de grandes marques en offrent 3 au plus. Uplaso fait le bonheur de tout ce qui pousse. Obtenez des fruits et légumes plus goûteux, plus gros et plus colorés et éloignez les insectes de façon naturelle. Pour un jardin digne de celui de grand-maman, utilisez le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso.
tried the tick shot. That rock must have been just off the center line. Oh yeah, you gotta get that out. Don't want to leave that there.
No. Being up 2 with hammer, Terry, it's a good feeling, but you still have to stay on your toes.
You gotta finish it off.
You got to finish it off. You play like you're going to make every one of your shots and hopefully finish off with a win in the end. But you still have to make all your shots in this end. It's very important to stay focused on not the prize, but the what's in front of you, just the shot and the end.
Yes, and in between ends, you're talking with your team and you're saying, just let's make 8 more shots.
That's right. And you count them down as they're made and as rocks are eliminated.
When I played front end, we used to, well, it was a long time ago. We used to say, okay, my job's done.
Yep. I think they still say that. I've done my job.
Yep, my part.
Yep. Except for the sweeping, you still need to stay in focus for those sweeping shots in the end. But yeah, you definitely kind of make sure you get a big sigh when your 2 rocks are thrown and you've made your shots and you're very happy with yourself, but you still have to stay focused to make sure that you're sweeping and, you know, you're staying in the game for the other players.
Which puts a lot of pressure on yourself. It keeps you focused and ready to play.
Absolutely. And for Brian's team, they want to make sure that they put the rocks in the right places and do their best to make put pressure on the Comeau team and hopefully see a forced error. That was just unfortunate for a little tick, but it does allow Comeau to start peeling off rocks and making it very open for him and his team for the final end.
Alex can make them all go away here. And just got a couple.
And there's nothing wrong with one at a time. It would have been nice to have the double, but they don't focus on the double at this point. When they're up 2 with hammer, they just want to eliminate.
And roll their own out.
And roll their own out. They do not want to stay in front of the house for anything at this point. I think it looks like it might be a pretty open end to finish this game off, but again, we say every rock has to count for each team. You have to make your shots in order to win the game. You have to make your shots in order to steal in an eighth end. Especially stealing two, it's difficult these days, but at the same time, it's very possible. You just need one miss from your opposing team, and you get buried behind guards.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. We've seen stranger things over the years.
Absolutely. I've done it, and I've had it done to me. When you're skipping and trying to make sure that you stay focused and create a path of a win when you're up, but sometimes you just make one miss and it doesn't.
Look at them both working that to get it out.
I think it's almost out far enough.
It's out
Gary.
enough.
It's almost worth tripping over. That's how far it is out.
I don't think it changes either turn, even if they hung one on the very tip of the 12-foot.
No.
Freeze that guard. That's not bad.
No.
There should still be a guard after this. Ooh. Gotta catch a piece. This might get both of them. No. Some good carving there. That looks heavy. Nice shot.
Very nice come around.
If nothing else, Brian's team should at least be lying 2 at the end of all their rocks. As a skip, how much did you enjoy just making one rock go away? Uh-oh. Oh, got away with one.
That worked for them. Yeah, they're happy about that.
Just like they drew it up.
Now with only 2 yellow rocks left. If this gets in the house, then it's up to Renee Comeau to throw one final rock for elimination. We'll see if Brian can bury it and see what happens.
If he buries it, Rene can always just draw into the rings. Pretty sure he'll try the straight run back, though. Good looking shot. Yeah, it's a pretty short run back.
He's throwing an out turn.
Straight peel.
Yeah.
A little surprising. I don't really see where he can get himself into too much trouble just trying to finish the game right now. And he'll have the same shot again to win the game.
Absolutely. Interesting call for sure.
Yeah.
He could have played the intern and eliminated the rock. And still, if he didn't eliminate the rock, he could have, he would have still eliminated the rock. He could have drawn for his two separated.
So many options.
Instead, he opted to peel up the guard and make sure that he could see the rock, one of the rocks, for elimination.
Well, a play on the
First
guard
class.
was the shot, whether it was
Absolutely.
straight peel or try to run it back. He
Absolutely.
only had a 5-foot run back there. That's why I thought he might play the straight run back, which was already on a little bit of an angle. But now he's got a wide open rock over there. He's only got to eliminate one. And it's whichever one he's more comfortable with throwing.
Jennifer seems to be looking at the clock, wondering if there's time, if she's got lots of time. But it seems they do.
It was a fairly... I thought they both played it fast.
They did. It's been a great game. Back and forth. There's been lots of great shots in play in the playing of the eight ends, and it's down to the last rock. And it's a final hit for the championship of the New Brunswick Mixed Championship, the Brannen Mixed Championship for Rene Comeau and his team.
I think he's
And
got
it looks like the brooms are up and the excitement is there for Rene Comeau, Jennifer Armstrong, Alex Robichaud, and Katie Vanderboer winning the New Brunswick Brannen Mixed Championship. Congratulations to all the teams that participated and the winning team heading to New Brunswick to represent New Brunswick at the National Championship.
Do we know where they're going?
Not a clue.
Somewhere in Canada.
Thank you everyone for watching. Take care.
Proud supporters of Curling NB. Hoop Lasso. Visit www.hooplasso.ca to learn about our mineralizer and to find a retailer near you. BrokerLink Insurance. BrokerLink has a group rate for members of Curling NB. Visit www.brokerlink.ca to get your quote today. The Brannen Icebreaker. The Jake Thomas Celebrity Curling Classic. The Government of New Brunswick. The Curling NB Hall of Fame. Visit www.facebook.com/CNBHOF for all information regarding the Curling NB Hall of Fame and this year's nominations. Egg Farmers Rocks and Rings Program. Visit www.rocksandrings.com to bring the Rocks and Rings program to your school's gymnasium or community function. Sport New Brunswick. Visit www.sportnb.com to learn more. Coaching Association of Canada. Visit www.coach.ca to learn more. And Curling Canada. Visit www.curling.ca to view all future upcoming events.
Uplaso's all-purpose mineralizer is the ideal solution for your plants. Uplaso is 100% natural and offers your vegetables, flowers, trees, herbs, and houseplants a blend of more than 57 minerals, compared to the big brand fertilizers that offer 3 minerals at most. Uplaso enhances everything that grows. Get bigger, tastier, and more colorful fruits and vegetables while keeping bugs away naturally. For a garden worthy of grandma, use Uplaso all-purpose mineralizer. Le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso est la solution idéale pour tous vos végétaux. Uplaso est naturel à 100% et offre à vos légumes, fleurs, arbres, fines herbes et plantes d'intérieur un mélange de plus de 57 minéraux, alors que les fertilisants de grandes marques en offrent 3 au plus. Uplaso fait le bonheur de tout ce qui pousse. Obtenez des fruits et légumes plus goûteux, plus gros et plus colorés et éloignez les insectes de façon naturelle. Pour un jardin digne de celui de grand-maman, utilisez le minéralisant tout usage Uplaso.